All right, should be live.
Should be good.
Should be good. I think we're fine. Everything's
Alrighty.
fine.
Good evening and welcome everyone. 13th MU podcast, the briefing room, episode 20. Yeah,
Yeah, episode 20.
episode 20. Captain Takeda Hideyoshi, company commander, and Apollo platoon leader.
I am Captain Dubs, the commanding officer of Tuma.
I am Senior Chief White, the Senior Medical Officer for Tama.
am Staff Sergeant Yogi, SEA, and Hermes Actual.
Staff Sergeant Ace, Adam Enlisted Advisor, Demon Actual.
Alrighty. Well, welcome back everyone. New year, new shit. Or New Year, same shit, right?
Yeah, New Year's same shit.
Coming up 3 years. That's fucking crazy, to be honest.
February, what, 22nd?
Yeah, February 20, technically the 16th, but it went live the 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, that's right.
You can debate the end of the 20s of the February.
The end of February, we'll just call it that.
Yep. But yeah, we're what, less than a month away? Almost a month and a half.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like 8 days away from my 2-year.
Woof.
Yeah, that's crazy. Ace, you're no longer fucking. Ace had an epiphany the other day where he's talking about fucking. Oh, I'm an old head now. Like, like everybody else in this unit is like Ace is like, I remember in my day, and then he's like, wait a minute,
What was
that
it?
was
Like,
my
Yeah.
day.
was it a couple? Was it like a month ago? We went through and looked and see who the old
It was like
heads
last
were.
week. Yeah, I think we looked at it, and out of the people who are still active, not retired in the Discord, I'm like the 6th oldest active member.
Ace.
So
I think I was at like 4,
you're
5,
like 4 or something.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
Damn,
based.
it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, time
Blacks.
fucking
No,
flies.
Actually, no, we get moved up one spot now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So then I'm probably like
Now I'm
3 or
5th
4, yeah.
something.
I'm probably top 10.
at this point
Actually-
probably yeah.
Top
Actually,
10.
Actually,
Yeah, top 10.
probably.
Yeah, I mean, what we've got about 90 people in the Discord and 60 plus active. Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Oh, man. And then not even to mention like the coming news of from I guess a little bit from everywhere, and especially from like one of our more trusted sources, I'd say, being Anderson. Like the whole the
Multi-threading.
threading. Yeah, it's like coming in June or something. Where like, man, after almost
11 years.
11
12
years, they're
years.
finally gonna like, make the CPU cores work properly instead of it all just being slammed onto one fucking threading or whatever.
Real.
You
That
think
would be
the
so fucking nice.
optimization thing would go like kind of out of date?
There's some weirdness with it right now because technically it's already out.
Yeah, it's in like a beta stage on both of the beta branches.
So you can go try it right now. It's in the dev branch. But they're gonna add it to each of their internal systems as they go along. So right now it only works with like the PhysX things in the game, and that they supposedly eventually they're gonna add it to the rest of the different systems in the game to hopefully, give us more headroom with actual frames. Because honestly, that's the only thing slowing the game down right now, or just besides it being 13 years old.
Yeah, for a 13-year-old game, I mean, like, graphically, none of the armas have been very beautiful. At times, it can be very pretty with the right, like, mods and, like, editing imagery and stuff like that. But, like, Reforged is really pretty, which is, like, a really great step to Arma 4. But I'm still kind of novice when it comes to tech stuff, so I don't really know like I understand that the CPU usage will help alleviate like frame rates and stuff like that, or maybe not. I don't know. If any of you guys know, I mean, chime in. But it's
Yeah, it should.
like
It really should. It just
that
the game
introduction
is
should
not-
help out overall, right? More
Unless-
units, better playability for regular players. Like,
Yeah, unless you have a potato, it should really help out.
do you think it'll help out me and Dubs' 40 series?
What?
I mean, that's not.
Like
I mean,
graphics
GPU
card.
isn't really your holdback right now. It's CPU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a joke, Dubs, and you failed to recognize it, so demoted.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Once that goes into effect,
40
the-
series, the 40, 60, 40, 90. Don't you have a 40 series?
4070.
Yes, you have a
Oh,
40
yeah.
series. You ruined the joke. Look at you.
Listen, man.
Terrible.
It's the first podcast
Yeah.
of the year. It's
You know what? It's a good thing your cookies tasted good.
Oh,
I
God,
didn't.
yeah.
I didn't appreciate the hair, but
That's a load of fucking shit, and you know it.
no, there was hair on one of the cookies.
Oh, there's probably Karen. She bagged him.
God damn it, Karen.
Yeah, Dubs doesn't have any hair. He's bald.
Oh yeah, damn, that would have been a funny joke. Fuck.
I'm sorry,
But
Dub.
Yeah,
I
but
will.
It was really a pube.
Yeah.
Ah, you weren't supposed to say it.
I mean, hey, you know, flavor, I guess. But How do you think I made jerky like that? Anyway, so
What? Wait a minute.
Wait, what?
Pause.
when it comes to the future of the Milsimming, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I think it gives some more breath into Arma 3 before the supposed release of Arma 4 in 2027. That's pretty exciting. Hey, what is this? Hang on.
Holding on.
Alright, so while we're waiting for Cap to get back,
Yeah.
how was everybody's New Year?
It was good. I drank Crown Royal and Tito's.
I was inebriated in some form or another.
Yogi?
I think I spent the night playing Soft Rink. That was it. I do not drink.
That's
Alright,
fair.
sorry about that. Okay.
How was your New Year, Cap?
It was good. It was a good New Year. Not too crazy. Getting older. Holidays feel different. I think. I don't.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
I'm not sure what to really like thinking about it now. It's like, man, it's very different than it used to be. At least how it felt. But
It loses
I think
its
that's just
charm.
age, maybe. I don't know. We're too aware. We're too aware of all this shit happening, so you can't
Yeah.
really like enjoy it. You know.
I will say this. Once I joined the military and traveled, New Year's Eve just had no appeal to me for the most part.
I can
Because
see
it was
that.
just seeing everything that was going on. It's like, why celebrate? It's the same fucking shit, different year.
Oh, it's New Year's Eve. I'll probably still be in bed at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Me, I was playing World of War.
Time.
I was playing World of Warcraft like I usually do every year.
Yeah.
Doing fucking Mythic Pluses.
Yeah, I think it's at that stage where it really loses its charm, but I don't know. It depends on the person. It depends on what's going on. Yeah. I guess some general updates for everybody else is just
Yoshi has his computer back.
yeah, I finally got my fucking
He's
big
got
old
both of them back.
computer. Yeah. I paid $400 to fix one just for the new one to show up 3 days later. It was great. Yeah. So we're up and active. We're chugging along here, but sorry, I was making a point earlier, and I'm trying to remember it without stalling out and blanking. Oh, it was just like seeing the multi-threading come to Arma 3 and help it out and get it going, fix the frame rates will definitely be like an alleviating help to what's to come in terms of Reforger or Arma 4. I've been asked actually a lot over the year of 24 if the unit would ever move over to Reforger, and just in its current state, I can't see it doing that. I don't know.
It's too built for consoles right now.
Yeah.
It's built for like the favorability for that end. It's not built like UI friendly at all for, or feature friendly at all for.
The Eden is non-existent.
Yeah, which some units really lean into Eden, some don't. I think we're gonna we gotta have kind of a half and half here, but Eden's a really important tool to be able to put missions together like this, and not having any kind of access to it, is not great.
Hmm.
Hopefully Armor 4 is different, or if Reforger adds it eventually, you never know.
Yeah. It's not like Zeus is bad either, but it's just like you're so limited to your scope and capability. It's definitely like I could see our look at that changing completely if they somehow added it in within the next like 6 months, maybe. But I mean, that is a several week-long discussion that isn't even like on the table. Could we host like a fun op, every now and then? Probably get something focused up like that. I just don't really know anything about systems or servers or whatever the fuck is going on over there. So that would be my ending point on that. But yeah, in terms of general unit updates, I mean, the unit's going strong. Consistently, we've seen a holding of at least 20 members a year. So we get about 20 members a year. So we're sitting around 60 plus members coming up to our 3rd year mark. So projections looking hopefully towards 80 or 90 by the ending of this year, which, to some units that'll sound really bad, but I personally like how the unit is structured and organized, and
Oh yeah.
Catering to that perfect balance of not too heavily Milsim, but also not like super stupid like chill sim. I don't know. To each their own. I'm not insulting any of the units. It's just, your thing's your thing. But we have a balance, and it works for us. And we keep the people that we want, and the people who are still here seem to like how we've got it. So something is working.
Whatever we're doing, keep doing it.
Ray the Pirate on chat
Oh my god.
is asking.
This man and his boats.
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss it, Ray. Don't worry.
Yeah, so we were talking about like completely getting rid of boats, like from the 13th. Like we're not even gonna be a Mew anymore.
Damn, that's
We're
crazy.
just gonna be a Army Marine unit, but with no boats like whatsoever.
Not even the
But yeah,
not even the fucking
Destroyer's gone.
not even
Yeah.
the dinghies.
No, all gone. We're gonna get
Aw.
rid of them. That's
We
what George Washington would have wanted. No more boats.
The fucking the Amtraks, we're getting rid of them. We're swimming now.
How do you think the Brits got over here? It was through boats. So obviously he hated boats.
You know what? Fuck
Yeah.
it. Let's go full PMC group, multi-cam black all the way.
Yep, let's go.
Yikes.
Just,
We're gonna call ourselves Dog Company. All right.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Yep.
By the way, we're Ion PMC now.
Uno
I have a
reverse
feeling
card?
there is a group out there that roleplays as them.
Probably.
I mean, yeah, they've got kits.
Yeah, they got the gear already. I mean, it's pretty easy, just all base game stuff.
Oh, I will talk about the 13th venture into attempts with like joint ops. I think 24 might have been the end of that.
The
I think that might
doors
have been the final year for
the
us.
doors are
attempting it.
closed.
It's just
Oh, come on, Cap. One more time.
it wasn't.
Hell no.
2023 was awful, absolutely disgusting units we worked with. 24, it was just like a hassle. It wasn't anything egregious. Like nothing terrible happened. No drama like blew up. Units didn't explode. It wasn't crazy. It was just we're too different,
It was just a mess.
and yeah, they too different. Not great organization, but yeah, it wasn't anything bad. It was just you go your way, we'll go our way. And I think like just the way that we're structured and professional and blah blah blah, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's like non-compatible. Ray's a 10-star General Commodore of the 13th. We need more boats. We no longer recognize the Commodore's authority, so
Damn.
demoted.
That's it. You get a canoe. That's it.
Guillotine.
You get a canoe.
I still think it's funny. The one meeting that we had with, I don't remember who it was.
Oh,
Well,
when you showed up their head corpsman or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're not a
great.
unit. There's no way they're a unit.
It
No.
was just some
I mean-
dudes of ranks.
Yeah. We're just some dudes with ranks as well, to be honest. But
Oh my god, what unit was it that we were talking
Actors.
to that had like the fucking wonky ass ranks? Where like you're
No, we
you're
we went-
similar rank here. You were like
That-
a lieutenant colonel or some shit on their side.
It wasn't even like a.
That was just
just
a
some
guy
dude.
memeing.
Some
Oh, is it
dude
guy
was like-
memeing? Oh, okay.
it was not a unit. Yeah.
Oh,
No, he
okay.
was not even memeing. No, he came in here like, that's interesting. You're only a captain. There's all these people in here. Like, no, dude, calm down.
Dang.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Like, hey.
Ray said he's good with a canoe. All right, cool. You get a combat canoe.
Stop
Combat
promoting it.
canoe.
Stop making it better. It's just a shitty canoe. Not even a combat canoe. Fuck you, Ray. Anyway,
Ray, you have your combat canoe. I have my combat tractor.
all right,
Battle
that's
track.
fine. That's fine.
Battle
tractor,
canoe
get it
and
right.
battle tractor.
Battle tractor.
We're gonna
Hell yeah.
say it right. God damn it.
It's my tractor. I'll say how I want to.
Does that mean I can
I'll
get
blow
a?
it the fuck up.
Does that mean I can get a battle like hot air balloon?
No.
Damn it!
No.
I tried.
I don't have those in armor.
Yeah, sure.
Get a battle blimp.
A battle blimp.
Limp.
What do you attack with? I just drop shit out of the fucking thing. Cockpit. Yeah.
Fuck.
Cockpit. Anyways, moving right along.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2025.
Yeah, so I mean, like, in terms of like joint ops, it's just not it really in the planning cycle. It isn't something debated. It's just like, for we did a year and then we took a break for a little bit and then we tried again, and it was just like, after I think we talked to like physically spoke to, I think we spoke to like maybe 12 units, and depending on how many of those you consider a unit is to each their own, but yeah, it just didn't work out, and then some, other people will look at that as, oh, if you guys didn't find one unit to work with out of all those units, then maybe we're the problem. It's like, no, we're not the problem, 100%.
So what you're saying is there's not going to be any more. Let's try this one more time.
As of this moment, no. I mean, could it change? Sure, but yeah, at this point, I'm not planning to seek out other units to attempt joint ops with. Which is funny because when we were searching for units, like, it was hard as shit to like go and talk to these people, like just to have a conversation. But I'm sure now that I've made that statement of we're not gonna do that, we're gonna have a bunch of people joining, being like, "Hey, you want to do joint ops? You guys do joint ops? You guys, I'm sure that'll start happening." But,
No, we don't. Bye.
yeah, yeah.
Give me a uniform that has combat gooch. Very
All
well
right, Foon. Jesus.
Calm down, Foon.
Calm down, Foon.
Oh fuck, he actually said it.
He did. Well.
So, God damn it. Fucking Marines, brother. Yeah, in terms of the planning period for 25, I mean, it's just continuing the story, continuing the development and growth of the 13th. Just making sure people are enjoying, Milsim and playing by the rules of the unit.
Mm.
Pretty much it. I mean, at least in terms of my purview of it all. Obviously, there's a lot more depth to that, but for the average viewer, probably not really giving a shit about, you know, oh, we're looking at this guy and who's up for promotions and what paperwork's going out, who's retiring and who's getting discharged, what NGP's getting written, you know, what kind of training programs going on, like a whole bunch of background stuff. But
Yeah.
big shout out to the staff shops that kept doing their jobs, by the way, during the holiday break, because like basically you're just in a thankless position unless it's from command, where we try to like shout you guys out as much as possible, but like we couldn't do half of what we do without the staff shops. 100%. We could, it would just be a dog ass.
Yeah.
So
It'd be a lot more work on us,
yeah, that's how it used to be.
on top of the endless hours we do shit now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, shout out to the staff shops. Every single one of y'all just doing your part, even if it's just one shop. Like that one shop helps alleviate the stress from the rest of the unit and enables the regular fucking private PFC Joe Schmo to just come and chill out.
Yep.
I
Oh,
guess
shit.
to put out a question here is from me to all of you, and we can go bottom up. What changes did y'all see in 2024 versus prior years in the 13th? Like significant changes? We've changed a lot.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
So there's plenty of shit for y'all to talk about.
Definitely not a minor, but if I had to make something major, I would say probably people and where they are and stuff like that. Like if you looked at probably the roster, like January 1st of last year to January 1st of now, every name would be different. Like in positions they were to be in, like squad leads, section leads, etc., stuff like that. I mean, fuck.
Personal
Corbin has
like
their own
development
section
and
now.
growth. Yeah.
Yeah. Or people just not being in the unit or whatever anymore. Something like retirements or whatever, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yogi?
I don't have a whole lot. It's definitely still a lot more work to do.
That'll never change.
Yeah, there's always more work to do.
Ow.
It's been neat seeing all the staff heads come and go and rotate, and who's good and who's bad at what. But I don't really have anything else besides like what's really new.
White.
The efficiency of the corpsman has changed quite a bit. Like this time last year, we were averaging 3, maybe 4 corpsmen in an op, and our death counts were like
Always
9,
double digits.
10. Yeah,
They were up there.
and by the end of the year, it was down to maybe 2 an op, except for like those rare occasions where shit just happened that the corpsman didn't have control over. But
I will,
yeah, it
I will
was.
say, my TikTok hours have gone down because y'all gotten better with doing medical and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, beginning of last year, the average downtime for somebody.
Did you really just say that? You
Yeah,
fucking monkey, dude.
Fucking guy.
My
that's
TikTok
what I-
hours are down.
that's what
Fuck
I do when I
you.
go down, like when everything goes black
Get shot
or
left.
whatever.
Yeah,
You know what?
the a-
Skill issue.
this time last year, the average time for somebody being down was about between 5 to 6 minutes. And before I retired,
Right back.
that time was down to like 3 to 4 minutes. So yeah, there's still work to be done, don't get me wrong. But my goal is, like, I think the downtime right now is like the max that is like the best we can do for the most part. But just the overall training and efficiency of people is going to have to go up. Because, like, a lot of times for us to get somebody up in 3 to 4 minutes, it's 2 people working on the same person. Me, I've been doing this for fucking damn near 2 years now. I can do this shit pretty much eyes closed by myself.
Yeah, I feel like now a lot of your corpsmen, a majority of them, if they're not like new or whatever, they know what they're doing for the most part.
Yeah. And
so I think that's probably helped a lot.
Yeah, and we're currently working, well, not we, but Keeper and Nap are redoing the corpsman doc to make that more efficient and easier to understand. Because
Sounds
that
like
takes...
y'all need a flowchart.
No.
Yeah, because the stuff that we have now it takes forever to teach somebody if you don't know cat medical really well. Like, I've drilled into the leadership at least. So, like, I can go through and I can teach the corpsman training handbook in 30 minutes. It's the practical that usually takes the longest.
Yeah.
And, like, me personally, I sit there and I train somebody until they get it perfect and they understand it to where they feel comfortable doing it. And then, the next op that they do, I'm usually right close by, because doing it in training and doing it in an op is 2 different things.
Right.
But once somebody gets used to doing it in an op, it's easy. And people have started to realize that. So that's why a lot of the training went down, like, not training, but casualties went down and stuff.
Yeah, you guys are pretty dialed in when it comes to that. That's for sure.
Tyler
Like,
says, man, in some ops, I have to wait for my ticket to be called.
Yeah, I just saw that.
What a fucking monkey.
Quick and easy solution. Just don't go down.
Yeah.
Just don't get blown up by a random tank shell that was meant for Havoc, but instead it hits half of Apollo.
Yeah, behind them. Oh my god, that was hysterical.
That was nuts, dude. Bandit catching that in 4K
Oh my
probably
God.
made that 10 times better. Just, oh jeez. And I like how, like, in the video he was in his own little fucking lottie-dottie world, and then, oh jeez, like, explosions going off. Oh, dude. Just
Tyler,
luck. Sometimes battle, that's the thing though about Arma is, like, we try to make sure that it's fun as much as we can, but at the same time, like, shit just fucking happens, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it doesn't matter how well trained you are, how fit you are, like, real life or in game role play, whatever you want to fucking look at it. It's just like, man, sometimes your ticket just gets punched. That's it.
It's
Hold
funny
on, Cap.
because, like, oh, go ahead.
I want to say this to Tyler. Tyler, if you want to have a huge ass fucking Santa Claus hat covering your body, hopping into a fucking sleigh, you would not die.
There was one time.
Damn.
It's funny too that you talk about, you know, Arma trying to keep it fun, but, you know, sometimes just shit happens. It's like, so I've been Zeusing for the past few weeks, and I'm sitting there doing my thing, moving AI around, telling them what to do, blah blah blah, and then I just like pan away, watch, look at the guys on the ground, see what they're doing, listening to them, and then out of nowhere, there's just like a random ass explosion or something. I was like, what the fuck was that? Where'd that come from? It's like one AI that decided like, hey, I'm just gonna go 200 yards this way into the trees and then just, whip out my fucking AT and start blasting. Like, what are you doing, AI? Like, I didn't tell you to do that. What are you doing? It's like sometimes that's just how it works.
AI's not merciful. It sucks.
They're not merciful, but they're also dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like Ace.
Damn.
It's what?
I love panning around in Zeus cam with like the Zeus ears turned on, and I go and find Ace specifically just to see what kind of shit is coming out of his mouth.
I will say this. I'm glad I don't have to follow Ace around every fucking op anymore.
Well, yeah, because you won't be doing anything if you did.
No, because you do some of the most weirdest, fucked up solo shit and go down. Like
Half the time I
well-
go down when I'm alone is because I'm trying to go to another element, like relink with them, and I just catch a stray tank round.
for a while there, you were a fucking bullet magnet.
Telling
That's
you,
that's what comes of rank.
whether or not it's true, the AI does always seem to like target higher ranking people. It's weird.
They don't. I don't get hit that often.
They never shoot Corman.
Right.
They follow the Geneva Conventions.
I'm back.
Oh man.
Well, the Corman are going to die this Saturday.
I think back to the original question. The biggest change. I'd have to say probably the full and complete opening of Erebus. It was always something that was, oh, don't talk about it, hush hush. Because every time somebody brought it up, all the mechie guys would just ninja bomb out of the unit. And finally we just, went for it and opened it, and I'd say they've been running pretty stable right now, or lately. They got, what, 10 people? 11?
I think like 8.
8?
Didn't Tuma get the hatchets this year, right?
We did get the hatchets this year too.
I think that's
After 2 years of
debate
and people trying to fight for it, they finally integrated it. And it's been very well received. Like, we haven't put down any of the old supers at all in like probably 4 or 5 months, 6 months. We've only been using the hatchets. I mean, yeah, like Cap said, there's so many things that went on, But I think probably
too many to remember.
Yeah, truly too many to remember. I can barely remember what I did yesterday. You want me to think about the whole year of 2024 in the unit? Shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep, right now, think about it right now.
Another big change for Corman. I'm sorry, Dubs, but Corman is their own element now.
That's true too. EMC trauma.
Yep.
Tuma and Yogi working together, making Tuma a what'd you say, Yogi? Like an incredibly, you said it like a week or two ago, like an incredibly lethal force to be reckoned with, or something along those lines.
Yeah, Tuma's been getting lethal every op bet the past like 2 years.
Yeah.
And
I will say this: since Yogi joined and became JTAC, Tuma has been extremely deadly. And like when I first joined the unit, it was not uncommon for fucking shit to blow up on transport on the way there.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that's happened once.
Like once or twice, maybe.
Maybe.
But that's only because we actually got like shot at though.
Yeah, but before it was just like, oh, it's just the armor thing. Tumal, fuck Tumal, they suck.
Yeah, or they flew too close to the trees or something.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like
That was back on Namp.
Tumal has become more efficient and organized, and yeah, especially with
People used to
Doug.
complain about not getting enough action. Now they get shot down every other op.
honestly, it wasn't that. Tuma got so fucking terrifying that the infantry started complaining
that we were doing too
Hey.
much.
y'all are killing everything. Like, oh damn, that's kind of the fucking point.
That has been an issue though
Since its inception.
forever. Like
Oh, I didn't
it's
even.
always been a fucking problem because like even before Tuma got as fucking ace crazy as it is now, ace as in like the spade, not as in ace the individual because ace is gay. But
Fuck you.
like it was just like, man, I guess fuck the infantry. Tuma bombed 3 of the 5 objectives. We only got to clear 2, and it's like, bro, y'all killed like 300 infantry. What do you mean? Just
You're slow. Yeah.
I mean, I remember before Yogi, shit, Cobalt was asking me this earlier today about like how we did before like Yogi or JTax came around, and I was just like,
Oh man, what a
to be
wild
honest,
time.
I barely fucking remember. Most I remember is just that we just drew like a circle on the map, told him a grid, and told him to come pick us up.
So back
Yeah.
back before the era of JTAX,
aim C.
each individual squad had a squad RO. Like the JTAX didn't exist, so like each individual squad had a squad RO, and those squad ROs would call shit in. And there wasn't like, one RO communicating with Tuma. No. All of the ROs on the ground were on 70. So at any given time, like if things popped off and got crazy, like Blackjack's off in one area, Comanche's off in another, like both of them would try to call in at the same time, and it was, I mean, well, you could imagine how that went. Errant bomb drops, drops off target, fucking, you got 2 different ROs telling one helicopter pilot where to go to pick up the platoon, and, Warhorse or, whatever asset was being used just goes somewhere completely different. Like, yeah, it was a nightmare. It was,
So speaking of that, before Yogi joined, I remember a conversation between Cap, Dubs, Riptide, Cyber, and myself. Somebody joined the unit and wanted to be a JTAC. And everybody said that will never happen. We will never have a JTAC. And then like a month later, Yogi joined.
So the issue, I remember that conversation. The issue with that is because anytime that somebody would bring up JTAC, they couldn't convey how it would work. Like, what would the JTAC do? Would they be attached to Tuma, or would they be attached to the infantry, like, or the platoon?
If they did, they always organized it how the Air Force does it, or they're like, I just walk around and do what I want.
Yeah.
And that's not acceptable. That's not a thing. You're not just gonna be by yourself, 300 meters from the whole unit, calling shit in. Like, there's no way.
Well, even the way Yogi does it now, not in its entirety, but a good portion of how Yogi does it is how the Air Force does it. Like, JTACs attach to infantry units. So I mean that part is how Air Force JTACs do it, but then we tailor it to our own, and not only is JTAC its own thing, but it also ties in with S6, so it's unit-wide communications, and that's where it differs.
Yeah, but the Marine Corps has JTACs as well.
Yeah.
That's like Air Force is big gay, but
the like real like on the ground difference between kind of like is what I do, on a mission to mission basis is more kind of like a akin to like a CCT or a TACP.
Combat controller tech.
JTACs are usually just like they get given the airframe for a set period of time. Like, here's your airframe, do your fire mission and give them back, opposed to a combat controller or a TACP where they're actually controlling positioning and locations and altitudes and actual like flight routes. JTAC doesn't do that, but there's no point in ARMA to make that differentiation or differentiation between the two, because we just do it.
Yeah. TACP.
Because
That's
ARMA.
what I was looking for. Not JTAC, TACP. I knew what I meant in my brain hole.
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, back then it was just the Wild West. But also, like, I don't know if it was so, like, I think we're looking at it from two different ways. Like, if we looked at how the unit is now and tried doing it how the unit did it back then, it wouldn't be possible. We're too big.
Mm-hmm.
The thing back then is the reason why it worked was because there was like only ever like 1 or 2 pilots. So even if the pilot had like 1, 2, or 3, 4 call-ins, the pilot would just prioritize the more urgent call.
The way it was done in the past worked.
That's
kind of
how it works in the real military. Pilots will just get call-ins from several different sources, and they gotta decipher out what's appropriate with their COC and who's going to do what and what kind of payload they have. Blah 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 blah. Bunch of technical shit.
I don't even remember how we did close air support back then.
Red smoke.
It was in AMC, the old school AMC, where we would teach you like artillery call-ins and airstrikes. Like the old way, and it was just like, hey, like the only thing that they were like taught in depth was distance, direction, description, applying that, and then like, hey, this is the target, this is the area where it's at, here's its grid, and I would like you to come in east to west on the target. Gonna mark with smoke, and thump, you mark it with red smoke. That was the old way.
Yeah, because all the people that were going to be NCOs had to go through RO training, and like
I knew how to call in airstrike.
Now the 5-line card has it's extensive but not overbearing, and there's a room for a ton of variation in it to accommodate all kinds of different missions. Like, we implement some types of control, which again, really only the kind of knows would know what it is, but it's that allow after teaching the pilots how it all works, all the pilots fully understand it, at least to a good enough degree where they go, okay, this is type 1, this is kind of the expected outcome. This is type 3. Here are my general restrictions, and they are able to be far more flexible in that area while knowing what to expect and what they're dealing with.
Yeah, I remember my original RO training. Cap did it, and he looked at the doc, and he's like, "You'll never need to know this," and it was the call in for airstrikes.
Did I?
Yeah, like, you're a corpsman, you'll never call this in. You don't need to know this.
Oh yeah, because we hadn't really separated how. Man, the unit's like development and leaders was like so difficult to balance because it was like, all right, cool, we have an NCO pipeline, sick. How does this apply to Tuma or to the Corpsman? You know,
Fuck.
like I don't fucking know. And then we do the training because you'd still have to do some sort of training, like, and then we'd get to a portion of it, and you're like, hey, I know this is on the AMC doc, but there's not an AMC Corpsman doc, so we're just not gonna do this.
No. What happened was, I think maybe White was one of the first people to go through that, but I remember originally, at least when I first joined the unit, Corpsman became an NCO just from like being in the unit and like their skill as a Corpsman.
So
They didn't go through the AMC or nothing, remember? Kat?
for me, I did not need the AMC. I did not need to go through the full SOI. I went through a modified SOI. I had to get RO qualled. And that was it. And I fucking did my board. Like being an NCO for a Corpsman was becoming an NCO for a Corpsman was so fucking easy. I did it all within 1 week. And now I changed it to where they had to go through the normal NCO pipeline because I thought it was too easy, and I wanted to make sure that any Corpsman coming up had these skills and knowledge in case something did happen, to where they had to take over the fire team.
Oh, I remember the big change of the NCO pipeline. We worked on that. Oh my god, how long did we work on that for?
Which big change? There's been like 3 of them.
The initial change.
That was
Yeah,
like
that means I don't know what that means. I've been through like 7.
The
I've
format
been through all.
the format before our current one.
Where there was 2 separate lines.
yeah.
TLC and NCOC.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that bad.
Oh. And then we just made it all one with a breakpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, 2024.
Streamlined it.
Also, 2024 was fucking detachment commanders.
Oh yeah.
I remember writing that just like through the night. I just wrote it up
Yeah.
and sent it to you and
Yeah.
Rhythm. We're like, check these out. What do you think? You guys are like, yeah, this looks cool. It just felt weird not having something for the pilots. You know, just like, hey, welcome. You can fly, and every now and then you get promoted. Why do you get promoted? Ah, you do good. You fly good.
You fly.
And maybe there was more, and there was probably a lot more thought put into it than that, but
when
it just was
when
like,
you break it, when you boil it down, it boils down to is essentially you fly good.
yeah. But like, I guess the thing was, everyone joins to seek that avenue of growth, and the infantry and the corpsmen, they had that avenue of growth, in Meki, right? But there wasn't really anything for Tuma. And then with Tuma, I was like, oh, let me think of this thing, detachment commanders. And so that's just, I sat down and I fucking machine gunned through it, and I got the bare bones skeleton built up, and added some things that Dubs and Riptide thought would be good, and then you have the detachment commanders course, which is basically the NCOs of the sky that are warrant officers.
Yeah.
Then you had the first ground warrant officer in the unit's history from Mr. Canobis,
Canobis.
mostly due to circumstances involving, real life commitments. He's a committed dude. He's a great guy. He's good at his specialties and what he specializes in. He's definitely like, he is what a warrant officer is in the Marine Corps, which is like a specialist. You know, just specializing in what they do. So, but yeah, been here for a long time. He does good work. He was a good squad leader when he was able to, but now it's like, yeah, gotta make room.
I
Hey,
think
that kind of
he's
goes back to what Ace was saying. We're like, no matter what, the unit sees like pretty substantial development across the entire like platoon, the unit. 3 or 4 months we'll have a really good S7 person, and then they have to retire, or real life happens, or maybe they get in trouble. I don't fucking know, and they step down or retire, whatever. But there's always somebody there who's able and willing to pick it up and carry it out, which is great because it means like we have a really good rotating system where, oh, this one person quit or this one person retired because of whatever. That whole thing is broken now. We're screwed. It's like, nope. There's plenty of, default factors to really pick up the pace on that. Pick up the mantle.
yeah.
Speaking of unit firsts,
Take the reins.
so speaking of unit firsts, we had the unit's first senior chief too. Me.
It's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah. People. Eternal. No one else. Eternal brings up Shadow. She doesn't count. She was the senior chief of one person. And yeah, it doesn't really count. I don't remember her being a senior chief. I'm pretty sure she was a chief, but he says she was a senior chief. But I say White's the first senior chief.
But wasn't she like there when the units first started?
Yeah.
So I'm the first one that went from E1
E1 to senior
HR.
chief.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You did the latter.
Mhm.
Everybody in command, actually, now that I think about it, every single person in command except me went from E1 to where y'all are now, which is kind of crazy. That's crazy for me to think about. Like, I started this unit with 4 other people who are all, quote unquote command, and now it's like it's a whole different fucking team. Like,
I still think it's crazy that I am the highest enlisted in the unit.
yeah.
Oh, I need to make that change in the fucking written test.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Absolute creamery.
Well, hey,
Like I never thought I'd still be here after 2 years. Like when Casey first got me the game, I was like, yeah, I will be tired of this game in 2 months and then go back to WoW
Hmm.
full time.
2 years later.
Yeah, 2 years later, this is pretty much my main game. Yeah, I still play WoW, but I put way more hours into this game in the last 2 years than I have in the last 3 years of WoW.
I remember fucking before you officially full time came back, White was like, "Yeah, I had installed Arma 3 so I wouldn't play it." And then like a week or some shit passes. Yeah, I'm installing Arma 3 right now so I can play you guys tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Hey,
This fucking guy.
hey, I lasted a month.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a week, it was a month.
Sure.
Just like how you say you're gonna sip and then come back after an hour.
Actually,
Yeah.
I reinstalled it to help keep her out with some training and mod settings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That
was the-
is an unfortunate topic as well. Losing out on a keeper, especially so soon, getting into her command position.
Yeah, but life happens.
Yeah, can't do anything about really life because what are you gonna do? I mean, she did great work. The corpsman absolutely loved having her in the post that she was in, and she's, for those who don't know, she is retiring officially this Friday. So that's officially going through. It's going to be a whole little retirement thingy. So if you want to come, be there, be square. Yeah. Damn.
And that's
She just made HM1 like
2 months
November.
ago. November, yeah.
Yeah, she made it while I was on retirement.
It's so shitty. So
Yeah.
shitty timing.
It's just the way it goes sometimes.
Yep. Yep.
Let me ask the same question to you, Cap. What do you think the biggest change was in 2024?
The biggest change?
Or pretty much the same thing you asked us, like
Yeah.
from 3 years ago, moving through the years through 2024. What do you think the biggest change was?
In 2024, I think the biggest change of the unit, I'm gonna say it's two things. My number one would be the corpsman's restructure, like right at the end of the year. Like, it really just kind of came out of nowhere, and that's mostly how a lot of my ideas just occur. Like, detachment commander, the corpsman's changing of the corpsman's like command structure, and how they even integrate into the unit. Documents, training, SOPs, like anything like that. It's just kind of off the top of my head, and then I hand it down, and then people either correct it or they're like, this doesn't work, it's not practical, and then we adjust it, whatever. But my first one would be like the creation of the Expeditionary Medical Command, because like for the longest time we treated the corpsmen as just like a part of the company, which they are, right? Because it's weird how it works for our roleplay. I guess the easiest way to say it would be everyone is the member of the 13th, but in the 13th you have the company ground elements between Apollo and Erebus, and communications, and now you have the Expeditionary Medical Command, which is all of the corpsmen, and Tuma. And obviously from there, each one subsequently breaks down into their own chains of command, but inevitably they all report to the Lotus Company commanding element and manage their elements in appropriate order based on the CO and XO's discretion. But I'd say that was probably one of the biggest changes, was right at the tail end for that.
So,
The second thing,
if you remember correctly, when I first took over corpsman, I suggested something very, very similar to the way we are now. And
I don't remember it, but I believe you.
And you said not at this time because we just don't have enough corpsmen, and I agreed. And
That sounds probably accurate then.
so
And
when
look where we are now.
so when you decided to do this, I was like, it only took a year and a half, but it's finally coming to fruition the way that I imagined it and stuff. So I want to thank you for doing it. It only took a year and a half to do it, though.
Hell yeah. Well, you finally had some solid corpsmen. Not a bunch of fucking monkeys. And I guess the second thing would be just the I think it would be the way, I don't know if I could call it this. It's the way, and I'm not sure I can explain it properly, but the way the unit's leadership handles things. Previously, the unit had an issue, and it's a recurring issue because people are people, and sometimes people are in bad moods, whatever you want to call it. But like, leadership has gotten very good at handling internal issues. before it blows up into something super significant, and whether that's out of their own, personal, commitments or, drive to keep the unit sanity. I think the leadership side of the unit has seen an exponential growth of, am I on people's ass? That's like half my job is to make sure people are doing the things that I want them to do because I, made this thing called the 13th. So I want to keep it going. But like, I've personally noticed that like, I don't need to step in nearly as much as I used to in like, 2022 and 2023. And like, I can, like, my perfect example would be when I finally lost out on my computer and stuff. Like, for those several weeks, like, everything was fine. The unit wasn't exploding, and if there was drama, it was handled by S2, or command staff came to me and spoke to me. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of, I think, maturity and growth in the unit that has developed significantly to the point that it's like, if I were to leave, the unit would definitely, I would think, keep going. I don't think the unit would stop. And whether that was ran by a single person or by the whole of command staff, I'm fairly certain it could get done.
So I will say this: before I joined command staff a lot of times was defensive and aggressive at the same time about certain issues. And Dubs was usually like the wise one, the voice of reason. And he was just like outnumbered a lot. And then when I joined and there was like 2 people that were like calm, level-headed, wisdom, older people, everybody started mellowing out more and starting to look at the bigger picture instead of jumping the gun and getting angry about shit. So like having 2 level-headed people, I think, is what was needed to help balance out command from making irrational decisions and being aggressive, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I don't think I'm
Sort
that.
of.
I don't think I'm that aggressive, but I
No,
mean,
He said was.
At some points during certain topics, there was like not really aggressive, but like defensive about ideas, and you didn't like change, like not change, but drastic changes. And then when you had 2 people with like level-headed and 2 different points of views and stuff like that, you started realizing that, okay, it wasn't just you, Cap. It was Cyber and Ace as well, and Riptide. So it was like there was 2 people here that had 2 different points of views, but it was also like more calm and like, okay, you guys started accepting things a little bit easier and realizing bigger picture stuff. I know I fucked up saying it the way I did. Like I got the picture in my head. I just can't put it into words properly.
I hear what you're saying though.
no, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to think about it, but I always thought I was one of the calm, wise ones. But everyone has their own interpretation. And I agree. I do know that you and White and Dubs are definitely the calmer of the elements of command staff, but I think it comes back to the whole topic of like being wise and then dealing with frustrating things that repeatedly come up that you don't want to go into a 15-minute answer for. The 15-minute answer is the right answer, but I don't want to spend 15 minutes saying the same thing for the 9th time. I think that's where it comes back to.
Yeah.
My first year running the unit, dude, I hated repeating myself. I fucking hated that shit, dude. I was a piece of shit. I fucking hated people. I don't even know how the unit got to 40 people the first year. And because of the attitude is why like half the unit like left. And then that's where like I mellowed out in 2023. I don't know about 2024, but I feel like I've been mellow since then, but that's my perspective on it. Ace, he just doesn't like change.
I'm a conservative, okay?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's valid. Sometimes that's valid. Like it's not a bad stance.
I was I literally had that argument, not that argument, but the conversation earlier today with Nap. We were just hanging out, and I don't know how it started, but I was saying how like I'm not opposed to huge changes and all that, but I just really want instead of being like, oh, as I said, I was like, I'm one of the less progressive members of command staff in terms of change and stuff to the unit. Oh, we were talking about the bot and all that, I think. But it was like I try to, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'm like, yeah, because everyone always, when they see something new, it's like, oh, it's like, or you go to like buy a car or like you want a new car or something, and you see the brand new car, it's like, oh, it has this, it has that, oh, it looks nicer, but it's like, you already have a reliable car as it is and stuff. And it's just, I try to get that, try to realize that, do we really need to do this something new, or is it more trouble than what it's worth? I'm not opposed to new things. It's just that if it's gonna be a hassle to do this new thing, like, why should we do it when we have something that works? And now if it's broken, I'm 100% for change because it's broken. But like I said, so I'm not totally opposed to change. It's just more of the time, it's just like, we already have this though, and it works. So
yeah. No, I hear you, Bubba. I hear you. Yogi, talk, big boy. Say words.
What you want to hear about?
What you need?
More change?
Yeah. Jingle some change for Ace.
fuck yeah.
I still got that
All
gift face. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, buddy.
I got a question for everybody.
Yo.
Huh.
What would you like to see happen for the 13th in this year?
20 more Boone, Joes, and Charlies.
That's valid.
Have a stable platoon staff.
That's
That's all I want, dude.
that, dude. That's like beginning of time, man.
Yeah.
A full platoon and a stable platoon staff. It doesn't fucking flip the table over something minor.
I would like to see a full EMC.
Hell yeah, dude.
God damn, I remember the days when the fucking corpsmen outshined the infantry in turnout.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a long time ago.
Remember
It would
one
be
op-
like 9 corpsmen for like a month straight was nuts.
I remember one time there was 13, and
Yep.
I think
Fire
like,
teams.
and I think just the way the squads turned out, like one squad was like normal, but then because of the turnout, I think one squad was like, each team had like 2 corpsmen in it, and
Yeah.
then the squad leader had like 2 corpsmen attached to him too. So it was more
Safest
corpsmen than
squad
infantry.
ever.
At one,
Yeah.
at one point, Cormier, we had to be fire team leads because we didn't have enough.
Oh yeah, that's right. We'd have to ask. Actually, yeah, Cap, you say that it's the safest squad ever, but I remember that we were actually the most combat ineffective because the whole, at least back then, I don't know about now. I mean, depending, different people and stuff. Their kind of whole thing was like, stay back, don't get shot at. So when you had only like 4 actual infantrymen to do like the attacking and stuff, it actually was kind of ineffective. So
Mhm.
it's not as good as it sounds. But it could be different today, though. I don't know. I've heard a lot of these corpsmen nowadays. They like killing. So
Oh, these corpsmen are killers, dude. I don't think that. I could be completely wrong. I don't think that has been enforced for a long time. Because I
what, the
remember where we
corpsmen
used
stand
to
back?
like. I remember when team leaders and squad leaders would yell at corpsmen to like, "What are you doing? Like, stop peeking around the corner. Stop providing
Yeah,
covering fire. Like, go
Get out
sit
of the
somewhere
stack.
else. Get
You
out of
know,
Yeah,
here."
I remember
You
that.
want,
And like,
Yeah.
you want to know why that happened?
maybe the change came from the CQB where like they were in the stack now, and like because there was a time right where like the people would get yelled at and leave the unit because they were yelled at for being like
Yeah,
in
I
combat.
remember that.
You want to know why it all changed, Cap? Because I told my corpsmen to actually engage. Because, like I said, we only had 2 or 3 infantry engaging and one corpsman in the back waiting. I was like, no. If you're in firefight, engage. You are trained to do CQB and all this stuff. You are right there with them. Be in the back, but you are right there with them. That way, they have another hand, or another gun, fighting and shooting.
Hmm.
I believe it. You're American.
Because, like, IRL, I'm not. When I was in, I was not standing in the back waiting. I was in the firefights. You have to be in the firefights to be able to be effective in your job. Somebody goes down, you gotta be right there with them.
Get in the shit.
Oh, well, I don't think there's much else to talk about unless someone has another point. This episode isn't a very long one. It's just the intro to the new year.
Yeah.
Um,
Go do the survey.
yeah, please do the surveys. Surveys are out. Command staff reviews the surveys after each GWI. So whenever y'all get the chance, man, get out there and check them out. Type it up. We literally review them. So if you don't say anything, you can't really do anything, you know, or at least we won't know. But yeah, beyond that, I don't got anything else. Do y'all have anything?
Nope.
No. Yeah, recruit. That's about it.
Recruit. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to the new year, everybody, of 2025. This is your wonderful command staff signing off. Y'all have a great weekend. Rock Hilly babies.
Donate.
Donate. Do the fucking survey. Recruit. Like, subscribe, comment.